What's going on, veterans? JB coming to you live. I am 100% permanent and total Navy Desert Storm veteran. In today's video, we're going to talk about how do you prove PTSD when you haven't went to sick call when you were serving active duty. So stay tuned. Watch this video to the complete end. I was in the Navy from 1991 to 1995, and I'm going to show you some things that you can look for to try to find out whether or not you can find a buddy. Because to prove the stressor, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, the stressor has to be proven. Either you prove it with your sick call records, and most of you, you were gung-ho in the military doing active duty, and you wasn't going to tell them that you're going through something psychologically while serving active duty, right? So, to combat that, what you need to do is find a buddy. You're probably saying, Junius, I served over 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Well, there's some type of footprint online now because we're in the information stage. You can go and look at sites online on Google. And right here, I Googled the Dwight D. Eisenhower, which is the actual ship that I served in from 94 to 95 on a cruise, on the Mediterranean cruise. So I went and searched on Google, and this is the U.S. Dwight D. Eisenhower CVN 69, as you can see in the background there. And this is a cruise book. This is a site where they have the actual cruise. If you were in the Navy and you've done a cruise, this is where you can find the different things about the cruise. If you scroll to your left, it's going to talk about the ship's crew, the carrier air wing. If you wasn't in the Navy, you wouldn't even understand this. But I was in a squadron, VAQ 130. So VAQ 130 served on the ship. Let's see, it's active account. Where did it go? Let's go. VAQ 130. Here we go. This is the actual cruise book. So we're going to click on this was the commanding officer. This is the front page. This is the squadron, EA-6B Prowlers. This is the plane that I worked on, aviation technician. You go to the next page. You see all the top brass that was there, the officers in the squadron. You go to the next page. You start looking at some of the people that you reported to. Keep going to the chiefs, the E7s, down to the E6s. Some of these probably was your supervisors. They got the names sitting there. They're ranked AZ1 first class, AD1 first class. You can go Google these people on Facebook. Beckford, I remember Beckford, YN2 Beckford. Who else? I don't remember nobody else on this page. I remember the faces. Let's see, Robert Grimes, I remember him. I think he was in my squadron. You go to the next page. This will trigger your memory, ladies and gentlemen, of the people that you served with 30-something years ago. I remember this guy. This is Bush. So I go and Google that person's name. Bostic, I remember they're in Bostic. Some of these people, I remember their faces. Kaiser, Albert Kaiser. And you go and Google them in social media. Jermaine McCoy, I remember him. I'll go Google his name if I were you. These people I served with, who was this? Nesbia. I remember him. And this brings back so much memory from 30 years ago. This is the actual, Cat 3 getting catapulted off. We had loud noises. And can you believe that I never got service connected for tinnitus because I ran out of money to pay a nexus for tinnitus, ringing of the ears, even though I had a diagnosis. The VA had no remorse. That particular audiologist said that I did not have, there's no link for tinnitus. So this thing, if you know anything about the EA-6B Prowler, that was the loudest jet on the aircraft carrier, the loudest jet. It's being replaced by something called the Growler now. All right, moving right along. There he is, the man of the hour, Junius Bennett, ATAN, Junius Bennett. That was me in 1994. And I'm looking at all the people that had ranks of an AT. Jacob Wedekind, AT, this is the MOS equivalent. And I look at Day. I remember Craig Day. I remember Bobby Coward. And this is how you can jog your memory, and you can find them on Facebook and you can message them. Find them on Instagram. Find them wherever you can find them. But if you're part of the Army, I'm pretty sure they got photographs of different people. I remember this guy right here. I think his name was, don't get me the line. let's see his name, Kendrick Jackson. Yep, Kendrick Jackson. I remember this cat, Mark Perez. This is our squadron. All the people. This is so long ago. These people probably don't even look like this. Some of these people has passed and gone on. They're deceased. And the quicker you do this, the better, because you're trying to prove a stressor. And if this person saw what you saw, they can write you a statement, get it signed, dated, and notarized. I remember Sukdale Devendra. I don't know if he's still alive. I haven't searched his name, but when I talk about, and then it goes to the next squadron. And so if you're a United States Navy sailor and you went on a cruise, you can go to that website and find your actual ship. I think it's called Navy Decite something. Let's go back. I just put in actual my ship. So if you, whatever ship you was on, you can Google that, CVN 69 Mediterranean Arabian Sea. Also in the front of that, it would also talk about the mission of your actual squadron. So when you're writing your statement to support a claim, you can go and blow it up. This talks about in 1994, 1995 Mediterranean deployment proved to be a full of new adventures, exciting challenges, all met with typical Zapper professionalism. Very quickly, the VAQ-130 Zappers is the name of my squadron. See, when I'm writing my statement to support a claim, it's making it congruent to what's going on. We found ourselves in the Arabian Gulf, supporting Operation Southern Watch. Southern Watch was to watch over the airfield, enforcing the no-fly zone over southern Iraq. So they cannot deny you because you're very accurate in your statement to support a claim. All right? The Zappers flew 102 sorties. You could talk about how much y'all worked in support of Southern Watch for a total of 234 flight hours. Now, how could I remember that if we're in 2025 and this was 1994 when I went on this cruise? That's why it's imperative to do a very thorough research on your information for your company, your unit, your squadron. Due to the continuous efforts of the maintenance department, only one Southern Watch sortie was missed to aircraft availability. On December 3rd, you see how definitive. December the 3rd, Ike transit the Suez Canal. I remember going through the Suez Canal. That could be in my statement. And proceeded to her new station in the Adriatic Sea. I can now remember how cold it was in the Adriatic Sea when we were doing tie downs. We were tying down the jets on the aircraft carrier, and how our tears in our eyes were freezing up on our face because we did it between October and April. So all of our cruises was in the wintertime. So now it's bringing back memory. Supporting Operation Deny Flight. Deny Flight occupied the Zapper's attention for the remainder of the deployment, fulfilling the critical mission of suppression of enemy air defenses. What happens when you're that definitive in your statement support a claim about what happened for PTSD? You saw a pilot go down, or you seen somebody ran off the ship because they got a Dear John letter. Okay, fulfilling the critical mission. The Zappers were providing coverage to Air Wing, the Air Force, and Allied assets over Bosnia. You can say that in your statement, okay? Being the only asset available in the European theater, the Zappers deployed to the Aviano Air Force Base. I remember going to the Aviano Air Force Base in Italy, all right? Which the Ike made port calls to Italy, Israel, Greece, and Turkey. I can remember going to Antalya, Turkey. I can remember going to Haifa, Israel. I can remember going to Naples, Italy. Man, it's amazing. During the course of the deployment, VAQ-130 flew over 300 sorties in the support of Operation Deny Flight for more than 860 flight hours. Only one deny flight sortie was missed. All right? All told, the VAQ-130 from 1994 to 1995, remember I told you October to April, the Mediterranean deployment was an unqualified success. Many goals were personal, professional, were accomplished, new friendships were formed, new adventures, and foreign countries were experienced. Now you got a more definitive statement support a claim. I want to go back, just if you will, to my picture, and I want to bring something up. And this really, I got emotional because in 1994 was after my assault. Again, 1994 was after my assault. In this picture that I'm getting ready to show, give me a moment, of me when I was in this cruise ship picture. I'll blow it up for you guys to see. I already had a scar on my nose. I had been assaulted in 1992, November 6th. This is 1994, the cruise. So the Navy doctor sewed me up. I still got a broken nose. Now I'm snoring profusely. Didn't know I had sleep apnea. Got a no-shave chin. I got bumps under my chin. I got a rash all on my back. So didn't know this was service connected. They let me get out of this thing in April. I'm sorry. Yeah. I got out August 95 with these injuries. And you're probably looking at this guy and say, he couldn't be 100%. Look at the smile on his face. Here it is, 2025. Do you see that scar? That's the scar when the guy punched me with knuckles, brass knuckles. Still has a permanent scar on my nose. So I got 10% for it. I got a broken nose. Forever is crooked. And it's blocking off my passageway. So that's 10%. Now I got sleep apnea because partial nasal passage. Now I got to breathe. I'm a mouth breather. So now I got sleep apnea. That's 50%. All right. Being me sucker punched, I'm having nightmares. I'm very cranky. I'm a loner. I'm always on the guards. I got my pistol with me at all times. I got PTSD. I woke up in the hospital from the fight, so I didn't have to prove my buddy. I had the proof of the medical treatment records for the PTSD. No shave. I'm still bumping like I was just scratching the crazy today about my bumps, like crazy bumps, and putting on the cream and stuff like that. And my rash on my back. I have to put this cream. I just got a new shipment of prescriptions and I have to keep it in the refrigerator and then put it on my back. I'm still, but some people will look at me and say, there's nothing wrong with this guy. He doesn't deserve his benefits. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when I came in the military, I didn't have a broken nose. I didn't have a scar on my nose. I didn't have a rash. I didn't have the PFB. I had the rash. It was pre-existing, but it got worse and was aggravated while in service. So 70% for the PTSD, 50% for the sleep apnea was also secondary, 10% for the broken nose, 10% for the scar, 30% for the rash, and 30% for the no shaving and the rash. So 2 30s, 2 10s, a 50 and a 70, and that equal to 100% permanent total. And that's the reason why I got $43,000 in back pay, because I did my intent to file. I waited 12 full months. I got all of my money plus the 3106 that was awarded to me in 2020. From 1995 to 2020, I walked around with this, embarrassed about this scar. I was snoring profusely, embarrassed when I sleep with women. Had to have a breathing device. My first diagnosis for sleep apnea wasn't until 2008. I am 51 going on 52, still suffering from it. And I thank God that I serve the greatest country in the world. I thank God for having my naval service. But I also thank God it's every single month that it comes in like this. Every single month, tax-free, and it's going to continue to grow. I thank God for all of the benefits, the property tax exemption, the free dental, you name it. I did not ask for these injuries. But because Congress wrote these laws and I gave them what they wanted as far as your diagnosis, in-service medical treatment records, the medical nexus, and DBQs that were required to win this case, this young man right here that was 20 years old, going on 21 in the year of 1995, walked out and was hurt for all them years and just now getting his just due. If you were like me, You've been losing benefits year after year, and ain't nobody gonna give you that back pay. But the last 12 months, you just lost them benefits for the rest of your life. And who's to say how long you're gonna live after this? If God is gonna give you another 25 years, or 30 years, or 35 years, you're left with what's left. Stop procrastinating. Book a consult with me by clicking the link below, newlifeinsider.com, and let's get you paid. Talk to you soon.